Girl, not another person coming out to expose Diddy for being creepy. At this point, it's starting to look like half the women who have been linked to Diddy have allegedly been hurt by him, because now his former backup dancer, Tanika Ray, is now speaking up about how badly Diddy treated her when she was working for him. It got so bad that she allegedly had to record him secretly to protect herself. And get this, if that recording is ever released, it is allegedly going to lead to a chain reaction of celebs being exposed, because there are new reports that many of Diddy's celeb friends are actually as bad as he is, but they have been hiding under their influence for a very long time. New reports have it that Jennifer Lopez, Cuba Gooding, and many of our favorite celebs are all in on this. Baby, y'all need to be set, because I'm about to spill the spiciest tea of all. So more and more people are gaining the confidence to come out and speak publicly about Diddy. And girl, it looks like this man has been getting away with a lot of bad behavior over the years. We have heard things and seen lawsuits filed against him that are just insane. But more and more people keep coming out to talk about him, and it's starting to look like we are never going to hear the end of this. Now, one of his backup dancers, Tanika Ray, is coming out to accuse Diddy of allegedly acting like a creep and a weirdo towards his dancers, claiming that they often went out of their way to avoid Diddy. Tanika shared an Instagram post where she addressed the situation, saying, "Oh yeah, women hold a lot in order to function every day in a man's world. If I told my story in 1996, then what? I just knew to avoid him at all costs. Yes, I danced for him and kept my space. I was on the vote or die airplane and kept my space. I interviewed him for his projects and kept my space. Nothing that is happening is surprising." She continued, "But in this wild world with a broken system, our healing is priority. Shame on all those men that let this continue. Shame on me maybe for prioritizing my mental health, some would say, but after working in a place that snatches souls, mine is intact and of the light. I saved myself. Now if someone needs me to pile on my story, give me a call. But I think Cassie got it." But she didn't stop there, because she also claimed that she had allegedly been secretly recording Diddy while she was working for him. And so she has dirt on him, and she is considering writing a book on him. According to Page 6, Tanika said that she may write a book one day, since she's been in Hollywood for 25 years, maybe longer, like 30, but until then, she won't divulge specifics because it's just so traumatizing. If you think that's messy, well, just take a moment to think about the many big name celebs who have been dragged into this mess, because there are a lot of celebs involved in this, including some of your faves. I'm talking about some of the biggest singers, rappers, actors, and even Prince Harry, because they were all named in the lawsuits that were brought against Diddy. Cuba Gooding Jr. was one of the celebs that were named in Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy, and as shocking as it was to have him linked to this, it wasn't exactly out of character for him, because he has been accused of SA in the past by multiple women. According to Lil Rod, he believed that Diddy had plans to use him and pass him along to his friends, including Cuba. According to the court documents, Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. while they were on Mr. Combs' yacht. During the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better. He then left them alone in a makeshift studio on the yacht. And he wasn't lying, because the court documents also contain pictures of Cuba at Diddy's parties, and even one very disturbing picture of Cuba being all touchy-touchy with him. Rod also claimed that Cuba put moves on him and tried to SA him, saying Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching and fondling Mr. Jones's legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. Like I said, Cuba has been accused of being creepy toward women, and he has faced over 30 allegations to date, so he's something like a light version of Diddy. One of his alleged victims exposed him last year, saying, "At about midnight on March 1st, Cuba Gooding Jr. waltzed into the bar we were at and proceeded to harass a number of the women there. The occurred when women would be taking pictures with him. He would grab butt cheeks during the picture taking, and when women reacted negatively to that, he would proceed to either touch women's breasts or tell them that he loved them. There's even a video posted by TMZ that shows him touching a woman's chest without her consent in a bar or similar setting. She was so weirded out by the encounter that she came forward to accuse him of being inappropriate with her. That wasn't the last time, because another woman also claimed that Cuba had allegedly SA'd her in 2013. She claimed that she met him at a hotel in Soho where he invited her for a drink. He then told her that he needed to quickly change clothes and invited her up to his room, where he then SA'd her. This incident led to his arrest in 2019. You probably remember the video of him getting arrested because it went viral and quickly turned into a trending meme on social media.
Some type of movement. There he is. Income.
But that was not the only lawsuit, because he also resolved another criminal case in Manhattan without going to trial, pleading guilty to a single charge of stemming from an accusation of kissing a woman without her consent. There was also another case where the woman accused Cuba of battery, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress, ending with a judge ordering him to pay $80,000 in compensatory damages to the plaintiff, Natasha Ashworth. In early 2022, he struck a plea deal to avoid prison time for the Soho SA, pleading guilty to a reduced charge. And to make matters worse, Cuba's lawyer attempted to defend his behavior, saying, "He's very, very outgoing. He's very friendly. He's very jovial. I guess the word is sometimes he's frisky, but he's not inappropriate. He respects women. I've known him for over 30 years, never been charged or convicted of any crimes. I don't think it's going to create any pattern or affect his case." Well, just before that trial was about to start, Cuba decided to settle the case out of court, which is interesting. This whole thing is kind of giving Diddy, and it's not all that surprising because they're friends and have been linked together. Like they say, birds of a feather flock together, and that couldn't be any truer in this case. Cuba being linked to Diddy in the SA situation is not surprising. However, he wasn't the only celeb named in the lawsuit, because another big name celeb that was named is Jennifer Lopez. Now, this is an interesting one because J-Lo and Diddy go way back, and they were also involved in a shady incident together. I'm talking about the 1999 shooting that left 2 people wounded, and Diddy's artist Shine went to prison for it. At the time, J-Lo and Diddy were dating, and they attended the nightclub together. Lil Rod claimed in his lawsuit that J-Lo was actually the one carrying Diddy's gun that he used in the shooting. In the lawsuit, Ross said, on another occasion, while standing in Mr. Combs' bedroom, Mr. Jones was forced to watch as Mr. Combs displayed his gun and bragged about getting away with shooting people. Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. This adds up with what people have been saying about Diddy being responsible for the shooting that led to Shine's imprisonment. Diddy, J-Lo, and Shine were at a club when Diddy got into an argument with another patron that led to the shooting. Allegedly, Shine pulled out a gun and fired shots into the air, injuring 3 people. He was acquitted of the attempted murder charge, but he was convicted on the other charges and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. His guilty sentencing didn't make a lot of sense because a witness testified that she saw both Diddy and Shine fire guns. Even more, a ballistics expert testified that the 3 injuries on the victims weren't caused not by Shine, but by a second unknown gunman. And Diddy was believed to be the second shooter, but he was never charged. Even more, several sources claim that Diddy deliberately threw Shine under the bus to take police suspicion off himself. According to his former bodyguard, Diddy allegedly paid witnesses to testify against Shine during the trial.
Those people were testifying, they were brought to Puff first, saying that what they saw against Shine and what they saw Shine do. The DA didn't even know those people existed. You understand what I'm saying? Shine said it himself, y'all.
Shine also confirmed that Diddy had betrayed him in a 2020 interview where he said, "Puff apologized. He did apologize to me for that when we met in Paris. He did say that he could have handled it better, but he was under a lot of pressure from the lawyers to throw me under the bus." That was a hot mess. But now Lil Rod is claiming that J-Lo allegedly helped Diddy cover up the crime, so he got away with it. But there's more to the story because Lil Rod even dragged the British royal family into it, saying that Diddy was affiliated with Prince Harry and used to brag about his connections. The court documents said Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties, affiliation with and/or sponsorship of Mr. Combs' parties garnered legitimacy and access to celebrities such as famous athletes, political figures, artists, musicians, and international dignitaries like British royal Prince Harry. To be fair, Rod didn't exactly accuse Prince Harry of doing anything or being involved in Diddy's nefarious actions. He just said that Diddy used to brag about knowing him. Plus, a lot of people don't believe that Prince Harry could get involved into this kind of mess. Now, if it was Prince Andrew, yeah, y'all know how that would have went down. If there's one thing that we have learned from these lawsuits, it's that celebs are even more messed up than we could have ever imagined, and that a lot of people are going down with Diddy. There are reports that the raid by Homeland Security was to find some evidence on Diddy and his celeb friends, and when they eventually find the evidence, it's going to be one hot mess. Fans left comments saying, "Gotta say, I am here for the expose and prosecute P. Diddy, celebs, and Hollywood elites for and movement. Burn the whole city down if you have to. Feds don't want Diddy, they wanted the freak off hard drives that would implicate the other celebs and execs. If they wanted him, his butt would be locked up." And feds saying Diddy had hidden cameras in all his houses. I can't even guess how many celebs, politicians, etc. nervous as heck right about now. The next few weeks are going to be interesting to say the least, but in the meantime, I want to know how y'all feel about Diddy's celeb friends getting into this mess. Let me know what your thoughts are, then check out this next video.